So this is an adult bedtime story. If you're interested in being kept informed about future adult bedtime stories, just subscribe below, and if you enjoy this bedtime story, find it helpful, please leave a comment and give it a thumbs up as well. So I hope you enjoy this story.
The Cat's Adventure. As you listen to this bedtime story, you can get yourself comfortable and close your eyes. And as I talk in the background, so you can drift comfortably asleep, following along to the story. And there was a tabby cat who lived in a farmhouse. And one day the tabby cat was resting on a lap. And while that tabby cat was resting on the lap, its owner was stroking the cat. And the cat felt so relaxed being stroked, it began to purr. And while the cat purred, the cat began to relax. And as the cat began to relax, it began to drift off and dream. And the cat felt so comfortable resting on that lap, knowing that the owner was being brought a sense of calm and relaxation as they stroke the cat gently. And while the cat drifted off asleep, it began to have a sense of climbing down off of that owner's lap, still feeling a bit sleepy, and yet climbing down off the owner's lap and starting to pace gently around the room. And you know, as a cat, everything seems so big in the room. And the cat had very sensitive hearing, and it thought it heard something outside. So the cat paced its way through the home all the way into the kitchen, paced its way along the kitchen floor all the way to the back door. And the cat nudged its head against the cat flap in the back door, pushing that cat flap open with its head, stepping its right paw through first, then its left paw. And then taking a step with each paw before stepping through with the rear right paw and then the rear left paw. And the cat liked trying to tense up its tail just a little bit, to hold and lift the cat flap up behind it. And then once the cat had walked just slightly away from the cat flap, it would relax its tail and let the cat flap swing shut behind it. And the cat flap would swing in and out, in and out, in and out a couple of times before coming to rest. And out in the garden, the cat paced itself around, it could still hear something, and it decided to go explore. So it started by following the path, by walking its way gently down the path. The cat was very vigilant, keeping an eye out for any other cats, keeping an eye out for anything of interest. And the cat could smell the flowers along the border by the path, could hear the sounds of birds in the distance. Noticing the green grass, the hedges and trees, and different coloured flowers. And so the cat continued to walk through the garden, and it veered off the path, going deeper and deeper into the garden. Heading closer and closer to the noise that it could hear. And the noise appeared to be coming from a part of the garden the cat didn't normally visit. It appeared to be coming from behind a hedge the cat had never passed by. And so the cat walked to the hedge, sized that hedge up, looked to the top, looked at the bottom, and a bit like drawing back a slingshot before firing it, the cat leant back on its back legs, looked up at where it needed to jump to, wiggled its bottom, and then leapt up to the top of that hedge. The cat had to scrabble a bit at the top of the hedge just to land on the top. And from up here, the cat gazed down the other side. It had never been down there. It didn't know what was down there. It walked along the hedge for a little way before jumping down into this other garden, this garden it had never been in before. And it continued to walk through this garden, heading towards that sound. The sound was much louder now. It was a kind of squeaky voice, and the cat was curious. The cat followed a path through this garden, noticed how this garden looked different to its own garden. And after some searching, the cat found a hole. And it was a hole through a brick wall. It was quite a small hole, and the cat had to really squeeze and wriggle to push through that hole. It knew the squeaking was coming from somewhere in here. And despite it being very dark in the hole, the cat had very good eyesight, and could see quite clearly, even in quite low light, and could feel its way through the hole with its whiskers, giving it an almost three-dimensional feel to this hole, just from the sensations of its whiskers. And after travelling for some time through this hole, it started to get lighter again, and the cat realised that it could see the end of this tunnel, and it appeared like the end of this tunnel came out in a different building, in a different house. And as the cat reached the end of the tunnel and entered this different house, it noticed it was coming out near a fireplace. From under some drawers, and it's pushed itself out. And as the cat poked its head out from under the drawers, it saw a human. And this human was petting a little mouse. And the mouse was talking away. And the cat realised this was the squeaky voice that it heard. The cat thought it was unusual that a human would be petting a mouse. Normally the cat saw mice in cages, and humans pet cats, not mice. As the mouse saw the cat, the mouse looked a bit startled, but was too comfortable and relaxed being pet by its owner to bother to move or do anything. After a little while, the human put the mouse in a hamster ball and sealed it so that it could run around on the ground. And the mouse ran over to the cat to talk with the cat. And they began talking about the type of life they have, trying to work out who's in charge. The mouse believed that it was the one who chose the human as its slave, and the cat agreed that it had chosen its human as its servant or as its slave. And the mouse said about how the human feeds it, the human cleans everything out, makes its bedding nice, keeps it warm, lets it roam around and have some exercise, buys it different gadgets. And the cat spoke about how It has freedom to come and go as it pleases, does whatever it wants, gets its back scratched and rubbed, gets its belly rubbed. Gets to play with different toys. Gets food laid out for it, and the humans even give it some of their food. And the cat and the mouse both agreed that they've got it quite easy. They get to do what they want to do. And then they have a human to look after them and to do things for them. So the cat doesn't need to eat the mouse, and the mouse doesn't need to go foraging and finding its own food. The cat wondered what it must be like to be a mouse being able to go in a ball like it's in. The cat told the mouse that he had seen humans doing that on TV. Humans getting into balls a bit like what the mouse is in, and then rolling the balls over water, rolling the balls down hills. As a cat, it had never experienced anything like that, but it did look fun. The mouse told the cat that it thinks it knows how the cat can experience that. And the mouse was clever and resourceful, and it managed to open the lid to the ball. And then while its human was watching the TV, the cat and the mouse ran up the stairs. And the mouse found a round laundry basket and told the cat that it can experience the same as the humans by getting into the laundry basket. The cat couldn't see how that could happen, but the mouse said if you just tip it over on its side, it'll work fine. So the cat jumped up onto the laundry basket. Using its claws, it scraped, holding onto the lid, and slid itself down, dragging the lid off with it. It then jumped up and into the laundry basket, and jumped up, pushing its claws and its feet against the side of the basket, tipping it over. It was a bit too heavy, so it emptied some of the clothes out and dragged them out of the laundry basket. The cat knew this looked like it was going to be fun. It didn't know quite what it was going to do yet, but it was something new. It was a bit of an adventure. Once the cat had managed to get the laundry basket on its side, the mouse said all you have to do is lean against that front from the inside and start walking forwards, and the basket will move underneath you. So the cat leant its forelegs up onto the inside at the front and started pushing. It took a bit of effort to start with, but after a few pushes, the cat managed to get that basket moving. It managed to navigate its way out of the bathroom where the laundry basket was, into the corridor. And it managed to wheel it along the landing. And the cat was thinking, this is really fun. This is something I've never done before. And then the mouse suggested, why don't you go down the stairs? That's a bit like when those humans go down the hills. The mouse recalled a time when, in its ball, it went down the stairs. It was a bit bumpy. And the mouse was a bit too small. But it felt that the cat, being much bigger, would be able to do this and would find it more fun. The cat went over to the stairs and carefully leant forwards and pushed. And with a well-timed push, the wash basket tumbled down the stairs with the cat running inside it. At the bottom of the stairs, the cat stopped running, but the wash basket kept going. And the cat tumbled inside the wash basket head over heels. There was an enormous clatter and crash. The human in this house rushed out wondering what was going on, and it could see a cat all among clothing and the wash basket on the floor. The human tried rushing that cat out, tried to scare the cat away, started shouting at the cat. But the human was more concerned that its mouse was okay, and went and got the mouse. The cat ran out the way that it came in. It decided this was a fun adventure. It waited in the tunnel, trying to peer back and listen out for that mouse. And it heard the high-pitched squeak of the mouse, talking in the background, suggesting they stay friends, and that they can have more fun together. But maybe they need to have fun where the humans aren't around and the humans won't notice. The cat replied, saying it agreed. And decided that it would head back for now, back to its own home. So the cat travelled back through that tunnel, back out to the garden, leapt up onto the hedge, dropping down off the other side of the hedge, before heading back to the house and through that cat flap. And the owner was still sitting there, the human was still sitting there in this home. So the cat leapt up onto the human's lap, snuggled down, stretched itself, and let the human continue to pet it, to stroke its back, as it comfortably drifted off asleep on the human's lap, drifting asleep, dreaming about adventures that it can get up to in the future, drifting comfortably asleep.